How many of you have had your life saved by trash? How many of the rest of you thought that was even possible, to have your life saved by trash? And the rest of you? How about some imagination? I'm going to tell you how trash saved my life and how it could save your life too. I remember the date, January 7th, 2016. The day before, the most amazing and beautiful person I know, my wife and sweetheart, left for the Mother Peninsula to visit family. I was on my own that day for our weekly run to Bar Camp. As you probably know, that's at 10,200 feet. It was snowing lightly. It was a beautiful day for a meditative run. There was about 1.5 inches of snow at the bottom and 3 to 4 inches of snow at the top. Now, although you know where Bar Camp is, you may not know what it is. And I know what some of you might be thinking. Barry and Arlene, it's a place where you camp out and have your favorite beverage. While that's true, your favorite beverage is limited to coffee or tea. I like to think of Bar Camp as a rustic bed and breakfast. Although it's not advertised as a bed and breakfast because that term has certain amenities with it, such as clean linen sheets, indoor plumbing, running water. Bar Camp has none of those things. But you can rent a mattress and sleep in the bunk room with up to 30 of your new friends. You can buy a really tasty spaghetti dinner, and they'll cook you some wonderful pancakes and coffee for breakfast in the morning. That day, when I got to Bar Camp, I ordered up my favorite beverage, some tea, paid my $1 for it, and by the way, you can't get a better cup of coffee or tea anywhere on Pikes Peak. Bar Camp is not only rustic, but it's remote. And so the caretakers rely on volunteers to pack the trash out. In fact, they'll offer to give you a candy bar or your favorite beverage if you'll pack out some trash. But I like to trick those caretakers. I order up my beverage and pay for it when I get there, and then after I have a conversation with the caretakers for 30 or 40 minutes, I'll ask them if they have some trash I can pack out. That way, I get to pay for my beverage and pack the trash out. You might be wondering how you run on snow and in snow. So I prepared this exhibit, and I've tried to lock it into this so that nobody's olfactory senses are diminished as That's my running shoe with the microspike attached. And you can see that it's very grippy. The microspike is manufactured by Catula, and I'll refer to those as Catulas from now on. I've been running in these for 4 years, never slipped on anything, including mirrored ice. Just super grippy. Grippy.
Yeah, write that one down.
This day was no different. I got to Bar Camp, I ordered up my tea, chatted with the caretakers, and after 30 or 40 minutes, I asked Ashley, who happens to be in the audience this morning, if she had some trash I could pack out. She double wrapped some trash for me in a nearly airtight bag. I put it in my pack, zipped up my pack, and I started heading down the trail. Now after I got halfway down, I noticed that the conditions had changed a little bit. It was still snowing lightly, but it had warmed up a few degrees, about 28 degrees, and I noticed the snow was starting to stick to my Catulas and clump to my Catulas. A couple times I stepped on some hidden ice, hidden under the new snow. This was ice that had formed by thawing and melting and then refreezing on the trail. And a couple times my foot slipped a little bit. I thought, no problem. All I need to do is be careful around the places in the trail that I know will be icy, which wasn't a problem. When I got to the last quarter of a mile of the trail along Ruxton Creek, I thought, I've got it made in the shade. This portion of the trail doesn't even get exposed to the sun in the wintertime. It's down in the valley. Now I think many of you, maybe even all of you, know how airbags work in automobiles. As an automobile quickly decelerates, the airbag will quickly inflate, so the rapidly decelerating occupants of the vehicle will have a nice soft landing into the airbag. But what maybe you haven't thought about is that if those airbags were fully inflated all the time, they would serve their useful function, intended function, all the time. Although they'd probably be needed all the time. Imagine my surprise when my snow-caked Catula landed on some ice. And I had this potentially head-splitting fall with both feet out from under me. I had a soft landing that day. That trash bag acted as my airbag. My head bobbed just a little bit, didn't even hit the ice. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, that's how trash saved my life. Next time you're at bar camp, remember to pack out some trash. It saved my life, and it could save your life too.